Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a Saturday night stream on Assetto Corsa Competizione with the Racebook Facebook group, who are British but hire drivers from all around the world, for the first round of the Campionato Corsalibro Challenge Series. It's going to be about 10 or 11 races spread over the next 4 to 5 months, so it won't be every Saturday, every 2 to 3 weeks. It's a mix of sprint races and endurance races. Tonight it is a endurance race, so it's a 45-minute practice session, of which there's 13 and a bit left, as you can see in the top right. Then we've got a 15-minute qualifying session and then a 90-minute race, an hour and a half. I think the longest race in Canada might very well be Mount Panorama at the Bathurst circuit in Australia, which is a 2-hour race. I believe there's also a special 3 or 4 hour race at Spa coming up later on this year. And then obviously the sprint races will be essentially 2 qualifying sessions and then I think 2 30-minute races. Rules are pretty stringent, but there's only really a few. First and foremost, if you want to score points, you have to finish a race. Even if you're 20 laps down, if you finish the race, then you will score points. Winning the race in the endurance races, which is what tonight is 40 points for the race winner, 38 for second, 36 for third, and then 2 points down for each position, down to I think 2 points you get for finishing 20th and last. You can see there's 15 people, quite a few people have set lap times. 5 seconds separates to 13 that have. Yeah, so it's been a while since I've played this game. I've been doing a lot of iRacing and also the One Hub Racing on the F1 2020 game every Friday night as well. So it's been about 4 or 5 weeks since I've actually driven around here, which is going to get... I'll be okay, I'll get up to speed pretty quickly. Don't really know... yeah, the controls are slightly different for me, but we've got 12 minutes left, so we might as well get out there in a second. The league is co-owned by Jonas, who's currently in P2, Adrian Reese and a ginger one down in 13th, 14th. I think the black sheep in 7th's got something to do with it. There's 2 drivers who I do recognise, believe it or not, in 4th and 5th, IFR Fruitful and Thomas Ado. They're both Dutch racers, both in the Porsche, like me, the 911 RSR GT3 Cup car, which is my usual go-to car that I use. And I used to race them guys several years ago in the F1 games, so I do know both of them. But with 11.5 minutes left of a session, I might as well get ready to drive. So this is the car that I've chosen for this season, number 14. I always choose number 14. Print livery with a little bit of blue and white on there. The other controls where you can flash the headlights, as you can see there. There's a Bentley that's just pulled in behind me. You can change the menus, as you can see there in the bottom left. So the overall gap, the car electronics, you can change your brake bias, ABS, traction control, put the lights on, that sort of thing. Pit strategy as well, which is going to be interesting during the race, because if refueling and tyre changes is allowed and you can change whenever you want, but I might just stack the car full of fuel and try to do the whole race if I can. And then obviously back to this one as well, showing the relative gap between everyone around us. Various views that you can choose. We've got the cockpit view in here, as well as you can see, and a few others, and the cam. I always like to choose the far chase. So tyres are cold. Don't think there's anyone coming down the pits.
Low tyre pressure, stay away from curbs.
And here we go, coming out the pits then. At Kyalami. Used to host F1 races back in the past. It's now sort of a sports car venue. It has been massively updated in the last 5 or 6 so years. It does have, I believe, a Group 1 category or Group A category, which means it can pretty much host every race category going out there, including Formula 1. So we'll just take it easy for our first couple of laps out. No ABS and, well, ABS and traction control is available, but they are run quite low. Tyres are cold, you can see on the right hand side at the moment. So it's all about trying to get up to a bit of speed. Bring the tyres up nicely to temperature. Quite a nice circuit actually, it's got a nice flow to it. So there's a car behind me, I'll have to make sure I get out of his way. Hopefully the racing etiquette is quite nice in here. Usually find in some games, for example in some lobbies on Formula 1 and GTSport, you come across some dirty people, but on iRacing of course everyone is as clean as they can possibly be. And so far, to be honest with you, I've done a lot of online races, nothing in terms of actual league racing like here, This is my debut, if you like. But people are generally very clean. So at the final corner, fantastic pit complex there on the left-hand side. That really is impressive. And over the line then, what will now be our first time lap. No idea what my pace is going to be like. I have driven in practice lobbies before Christmas with some of these guys and held my own. As we drift a bit wide there through turn 1, so not ideal. It's going to take me a few laps to get up to speed. The handling model from Formula 1 to ACC to iRacing to GTSport, all very, very differently. These are very heavy road legal, well, I say they are road cars, but obviously changed for racing specifications. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. You've got to be careful as well, because if you run wide and invalidate your lap, it's going to be pretty annoying. Especially here, very tricky high curb. And you can see there, we've run wide and the lap time at the top goes red, which means it won't count. Of course, we'll finish anyway, because it might give us an opportunity to see where we are. So first lap then. And it would have been on 46.6, which I believe would have put us plumb last. It's okay, not bothered. Still getting up to speed. And with it being an hour and a half, you make a pit stop, it's 30 seconds in the garage at least. And then if you pick up damage, then it could be a lot longer than that. So even if we are last, I don't think we'll finish last. It's all about just getting up to speed. This is a tricky corner to get right. Car understeers so much wide. In this corner here, if you take too much curve, you're off into the scenery. If you nick it just like that, you can carry a lot of speed through. And now back up to the final corner. Get it in there, come on. Okay, hopefully this is a little faster. Okay, 44.8.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
16 people here at the moment then. So I don't think we get a full grid. Up to P13. And now we've completed our first lap on the left hand side there. We get a consistent and a constant delta. 8 temps up already on my previous. That was nice through there, found 2 temps. I just can't take that flat out just yet. Break a little bit earlier for here, see what happens. Felt a little better. Aye, and that's what happens if you take too much curb on the inside. We're losing time, only going to be improved by a couple of attempts.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Oh, that was a bad line in. That was a bad line in. I do like this circuit there. It's got such a nice flow to it. And even in these cars, it feels like a really quick circuit as well. Plenty of directional changes. It's a 90-minute race, so I'm going to be pretty battered and knackered after this.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
And again, you have to finish to score points. Just not confident. Take that flat. Okay, we'll improve again, just by a tenth.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
So 3.6 off the ultimate pace. I turned in too early that time. It's a tricky little fucker, that corner. A bit of a slide. Okay, it's a little slower than normal. Still very understeery through there. No matter which line I take. It's a session over. So let's finish the lap. Bounce the car nicely. Be about half a second up, so we'll find more time, but we'll move us up the order a little bit.
Session is now over.
P11 then. P11 at the end of that practice session. Out of the 16 at a hill, although I think the guy in 16th didn't set a lap time. And the beautiful thing about this game is that you can either... You can't pause it whilst moving, as you can see there. You literally have to stop. And then pause it. And return to the garage. So it's waiting for a couple of other people to return back to the garages. The time's on the left hand side, so 3.123 off of the Charmless Lemon. Yeah, it seems a fairly even spread. Top 6 within 7 tenths of each other. Then the guy in 7th's all on his own. I mean, from 8th down to probably 14th, it seems, well, there's 1.6 seconds in that, so there's a few tenths between each people. Or each person, I should say. And then the guys at the back there are a little bit slower. But that's fine. I'm happy to be in 11th in the midfield. I'll take it. I'm certainly not expecting to be super quick or competitive, because this is just a league, unlike in, let's say, for example, one hub racing that I do, where it's skill dependent on different tiers. So if you're on the bottom tier, clearly you're not as good as people in the top tier, as qualifying now begins. In this, it's all for one and one for all, really. You know, there could be some absolutely insane sim racing drivers in there, and there could be people that are steering with 2 fingers and 1 hand. You don't know. So everyone's sort of in the same pot, in the same race. So yeah, we've now just 15 minutes to go then. This is the setup then. You can change everything around. I kept it fairly basic because I'm not completely or fully understanding of the setup, so I need to do a little bit more work in that. But what I do obviously is kick about the dampers a little bit, bump stops and all that, and the aero as well. So we've got a bit of splitter on the front, rear wing at 8, which I believe you can get out of 12, 13, yes, 12. So a bit of wing on there to help us in the medium to high speed corners. 65 rear ride height, 60 on the front. So the base ride height 0.3 off compared to what else I've done. Tyres, of course, fully slick tyres. There's my traction control and ABS settings. So in the middle, so I'm not using the full assists to me. You can if you want. It does relatively make you a little bit quieter, a little bit slower. So a lot of people are already out on track. Have a quick smoke and then I'll join them out there in a minute. I've got, I think, enough fuel there for 7 laps or something. 2.8 litres is a lap. I'm just going to absolutely just smash the... Well, we can probably have a look now, really. I mean, how much fuel can we put in this car? I mean, 90 minutes, you're looking... A 2-minute lap is 45 minutes. A minute and a half is... 70, 65 to 70. I've got to do some maths here, I'm not very good at this. And 2.8 is 10 laps. So what can we do? So if we call it 30 for arsehole's sake, 30, 60, 90, 120, which give us 40 laps in a 90-minute race with lap times 140. Oh, I've got to do some maths here. I'm racking my brain to think if I can do a full race on a tank of fuel. Because if I can, then I just won't pit. Or try not to anyway. Yeah, I'm struggling to do the maths in my head, so I think what we'll do, we'll just get out and circuit. Quick sip of my orange juice. And we'll just put some laps on the board, see where we end up. Oh. We'll do the out lap in the old cockpit. So I do love the sound. It's that transmission whine as you move up through the gears as well. Okay, tyres warmed up nicely. As we run wide, clear track behind. Let's send it. Good start.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
Still not happy with that
Yellow
corner,
flag
man.
in sector 2.
Okay, I felt a little scrappy that.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
12th, but slowest of those that have set a lap time. I'm sure I can improve. Hate that corner, man.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Someone's had a boo-boo.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Okay, nearly 9/10 up. P8.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
Let's keep pushing, try and find a bit more time if we can. That was wild.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Good lap so far.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Okay, just under 3/10 improvement, but would have been a bit better.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Come on, bro. Stop.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Slow car ahead.
You're not going to let me through? No? Okay. Come on, mate.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
So downforce is going to be like 3 or 4 in a car, probably horrendous. Jesus. Well, thanks for getting out of my way, but thanks for putting me off at the same time.
Yellow flag ahead. Be
10th
careful.
down. Why have people got to drive so closely to you and on an outlap? What are you going to gain?
There's a slow car up ahead.
Wah! I'm going to run wide. I think I slapped gone. Damn it. Ah,
Losing time in sector 2.
6,000 slower than my
Yellow
previous
flag,
best.
yellow flag. Be careful.
This is down the last lap. at this, found a lot of time.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out in front.
Okay, we're going to improve by half a second. That should move me up.
Session is now over.
P9. P9. We might drop down a little bit. Whoa, that was good last lap, that. We start inside the top 10. I'll be very happy with that. Two people behind, yet to finish. Pretty much 3 seconds off the ultimate pace. It did improve though. If we look at the timetables, so free practice we did a 43.9, and then in qualifying we did a 42.8. So I found just over a second there between the two sessions. And then if you look at the guys at the top, Jonas did a 41.1. What did he do in qualifying? 39.8, so he found over a second as well. So yeah, I mean the track rubber's in. It does develop as the weekend goes on, so the track would have been a bit quicker in qualifying than it would have been in practice, and therefore it will be in the race as well. But we've got a 90-minute race coming up, and I'm starting pretty much bang in the midfield. I'm going to be nice and sweaty by the time this is done. I'm not looking forward to it, but I think it'll be the longest race I've done since I attempted to do the Indy 500 on Project Cars I think about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was about 2.5 hours long. Don't know what to expect from this race. Finish. You know, I want to finish. I think the only thing that will stop me is if I'm involved in a massive incident that costs me something like 17 minutes in the pits, at which point I might not bother. But we will try and give it a go. And remember, you have to finish to be classified. So if I do decide to quit, even with a lap to go or a minute to go or whatever, I won't count for points. But I'm confident that we can do all right. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 people at the front. They're very close. I mean, there's fairly close between the midfield. Looks like the guys at the back have closed up as well. So, you know, even if we do get caught up in a first lap incident, we saw quite a few people spinning off in qualifying and quite a few yellow flags. So that will happen in the race as well. Fatigue will be a factor as well. 90 minutes of full concentration. People do, you know, lose focus. So that's going to be important. Because in the one hub races I do, you know, races, you know, about 40 minutes long, something like that. So this is going to be twice as long. I'm just waiting now then to go to the track. At some point we should be doing that. Yeah, just waiting. Something's happened here. I'm not too sure what. Well, let's hope there isn't a problem. So everything is organised through Facebook. Hopefully there's not any major issues. Yep, not too sure what's going on here at the moment. I'm just going to chill and wait. Usually it does advance, and then there'll be a wait time And you've got like I think it'd be a wait time of about 2 or 3 minutes, just so you can do some changes to the setup, which I need to do. I need to whack some fuel in there. Can use this time to probably work out. Okay, 1 minute 40, so and we call it 3 litres a lap, so 1 minute 40, another lap will be 3:20, 3 laps will be 5 minutes, so that'll be 9 litres of fuel per 5 minutes, so 90 litres will be 50 minutes, and then 9, 18, 27 takes me 117 will be 65 minutes. So a full tank of fuel might only do us just over an hour. That's the rough maths I've done in my head, so it looks like we can't do the full race on a full tank of fuel. If that's the case, then I might have to split it and do something like well, I mean 90 litres, I think, with the maths I'm doing, if I average a 1 minute 40 lap time, which I'm not, I'm 1:42, 43, will get me around about somewhere between the 45 to 55 minute mark, and this is a 90 minute race, so that's pretty much half distance, whichever way you want to look at it, which would be good obviously for fuel and tyres, so we don't burn the tyres up. And there we go. Right, we're finally on the grid. All 16 are still here. So session starts in 2 minutes, and the last 30 seconds you have to place yourself on the grid. If you don't place yourself in the grid, the car is put into the pit lane where you're held. The race starts, and then you have to come out of the pit lane. So you would be 30 to 40 seconds behind the rest of the field, which is not ideal. So the tyre wear in qualifying in a race was certainly down a little bit. New set of tyres. So we'll start with 90 litres. Cool. On a third set of tyres. Pit stop strategy, fuel to add. We'll go up to another. I think we needed something like. I think 1 minute 15 is 120. So 9, 18, 27. Call it 30. 150 litres. So 60 litres will get us to the end of the race. So that's fine. Tyre set number 4. Everything else I'm fairly happy with. So just go back in, have a look. Starting on the third set of tyres. Tyre set number 4 for the pit stop. Start with 90 litres, 60 litres in the pit lane. I'm happy with all of that. So that's good. And now we just wait a few more seconds before we can jump onto the grid for 90 minutes. Time multiplier times 6. That's the case, it might be about 8 o'clock, I think, when this race finishes. Game time, that is. Starting from P9. First time we've had an opportunity to look at all the cars around us. Some have custom liveries, others do not. So the race time, 1 hour and 30. You'll see at the top of the screen on the left hand side. On the right hand side it says 10, 11 minutes past now. That is the game time. So there is a possibility that we could end up running towards the night. So rolling start as well on cold tyres, which isn't ideal.
Green light, go, go, go.
90 minutes at Kyalami begins now.
Car on the left, clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Cold tyres and cold brakes.
Clear on the left.
Jesus fuck.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Fucking hell, this Audi behind me is dangerous. Can't win the race on the first corner, but a few of them fucking tried it. It's an hour and a half, guys, come on. Part of me wants this Audi gone from behind me.
Car on the left. On the left. That's
I've
light damage at the left.
absolutely murdered him by mistake. Oh, that's... Oh dear. I have arrived. That'll go down well. New guy just absolutely wipes out P8. How much damage have we got? 33.8 seconds, you can see down the bottom there. So I feel bad for that. Concentrating on the Audi. It's now in front of me. Just completely fucked up my braking point. Oh, I feel bad for that dude, man. Okay, refocus, calm down. Long way to go. Get off. Okay, 2 laps completed. Front of the car probably looks a bit messed up. Seems okay.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest.
It was more of a side impact anyway, sort of my front left with his rear right. Strategy as well is going to be interesting. I think it's quite obvious that you can't do a no-stop race here. Although if you could, there's nothing wrong with it. I haven't seen anything in the rules and regs about not stopping. Just means that if you can manage it, you're probably quite a lot slower than those that do a one stop, because obviously you're on a full tank of fuel, they're not. And there might be some people out there trying an early stop or a late stop, or even a 2 stop. We'll just have to see how this hour and 20 odd minutes develops. It's clear for me anyway, just keep going until the fuel runs out and then pit for a fresh set of tyres and a bit of a fuel top up. Oh, running a bit wide there. One of the things I always say is consistency is key. It was my little quote when I was doing my commentary. Consistency is key. And no more does it apply than in endurance racing. And that was a mess of a corner. So 3 laps down, 3 seconds behind the car in front, 2 seconds on the car behind. It's on our own a little bit, which is fine by me. Car feels okay though with the relatively heavy fuel load I've got. But understeering through there isn't going to help me. just hope I can keep the focus. This is the first time I've done an endurance race for a long time. But I prefer endurance races. I prefer the longer races, you know. Something like this, if it was a league where it's like, yeah, it's just 5 lap sprints, I don't think I'd be interested. If it's something like this, where... And Assetto Corsa is sort of based around endurance racing. You know, the game is sort of based on the Blancpain GT series. Of course, they have 3, 4, 6, 24-hour races in real life.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 3.
And although I am a single-seater person with Formula 1 and the IndyCars and everything like that, I do like tin top racing. And I always find myself coming towards a 911 RSR, which is what I'm driving. This is my go-to car in Gran Turismo. And at some point I'll be driving them soon, I think, on the iRacing once I move up the levels there. But for ACC, this is pretty much the car I go for. I love the way it handles. It's a real driver's car as well. You know, you do a good lap. When you push the car just to its limits, it feels fantastic. But if you go over the limits, you're in the scenery. Like that. So Bentley's caught me fairly quickly. Keeping pace for 2 in front of me, which is good.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
And your new personal best lap. Not going to fight people too hard. Certainly at this stage of the race. Oh, car.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That was weird. Again, in endurance racing, you don't push the car too hard. You don't push others too hard. I know I said that when I took someone out on lap 1, but we can ignore that. If it was 10 minutes to go, something like that, or a couple of laps, then I would obviously fight to defend my position, get off the curb, I'll be in the wall. Okay, what's going on with the car? I picked up more damage running over a curb. Feels very understeery all of a sudden. Check, see if I've got any more damage once I'm on the straight in a second. Nope. Just the balance has changed of the car a little bit. I'm not too sure why that is. It could be the tyres slowly starting to go off. It could be the fact that I'm now burning through the fuel, obviously. Track condition evolves and changes as well. But if you look there at the top, we're already coming up to 12:30 game time. So the chances of running... God, what's going on at turn 1? Chances of seeing the sun go down around Kyalami. It's good.
ahead in sector 1.
Yeah, there's 4 cars only a handful of seconds up the road from me. I'm not really being caught by the guy behind. I'm holding on to a top 10 here. I'll try and focus now next few laps, try and bring the gap down to these 2 in front. Not really worried about the Bentley there with the red arse. He's clearly quicker than me. It's the car in front of him that's sort of on my pace, so try to focus on him.
There's a slow car up ahead. Yellow flag, be careful.
Oh, Alexis just spun, and so's this guy. Something new you see on the left hand side of the timing screens. If it's white, they're on the same lap as me. If it's light blue, they're a lap down. So that second car that was spinning was already a lap down. The first car was for position, so I'm now P9. He's obviously just hit the curve a little bit, spun it into the wall. And I think if you're a lap down or something like that, or people are a lap ahead of you, they turn up as a different colour. I'm sure we'll see that in this race at some point. So the guy behind, 4 seconds behind, is a lap down. You can see that on the left hand side, number 14. That's the position he's in. So that Alexis there, that was ahead of us. Put it in the wall. Probably got some damage from that. And we continue to just motor around and do our own thing.
Behind to the car in front in sector 2.
10 laps completed. Well, there's a wild line in there. These curves are so scary, man. You take any of these curves just a little bit wrong, you're off into the wall. And it will happen so quickly as well that it'll be almost impossible to counter steer out of it, protect yourself from it. Just can't get turn one hooked up. Okay, it's just being a scrappy lap. You'll be scared of an exit curve there as well. I've seen two people lose it on that curve, so I'm a bit wary of what it can potentially do if I extend it just a little bit. That's probably the best way of taking that corner. Yeah, that was better. Just trying to be as consistent as I can as we slowly close out the first half hour. The weather's changing a little bit. I can see the clouds forming a little bit differently around me. And we're nearly 2 hours I should say, nearly 3 hours game time into this race. Started at 11 o'clock, it's coming up to 2 o'clock now. So chances are we'll be running, maybe not night time at the end of the race, but certainly a little bit darker than what it is now. Look forward to that. With a temperature change, the track will change as well. Someone's in the pits.
Falling behind the car in front in sector 3.
Behind us already. So remaining P9. Porsche does not like that turn 1 in the slightest. I've got on top of that corner as well now.
Slow car ahead.
Oh, someone's had a moment, I think. Well, it was that Bentley. He was about 9 seconds in front of us. Now it's just under 4. So he's probably had a half spin on that sausage curb. With that tight right-hander there, a couple of corners to go. That I inevitably at some point will spin
Yellow
on.
flag ahead, watch out.
There's a car over there to the side, yellow flag. Another back marker. 15 running, so he lost someone. Someone's already said fuck this. The marbles on the edge of the circuit starting to form now. You end up driving through that, you lose all the grip of the tyres. And the marbles are simply just the rubber falling off of the tyre as they go through their different wear cycles. You don't really want to drive on them if you can avoid it. So it just takes away all the grip. You end up picking up these chunks, these pellets of old, discarded, crap, torn up rubber that then sticks to your super hot, sticky race tyres. And it takes a lap or two to clean them back off. So you basically drive around bits of crap on your tyres, the best way to describe it. Oh, bit of a wild line through there. Another guy in the pits, but again, there's another back marker.
You're gaining on the driver ahead in sector 3.
Under an hour left of the race now. Just keep doing what we're doing. Just one momentary lapse in concentration from anyone. See you off with a minute's worth of damage and a busted car. It's not over yet. I mean, I won't be winning the race. I don't even think I'll get a top 5, but I think the target is just to be in the top 10 at least. The guy in 10th is still relatively close. Everyone else behind are quite a way back, I think, now. Obviously not on the pace, or they got damage. The guy in 11th is half a minute behind me. What's happened around here?
Yeah,
We've got oh god, please stay there as the guy in 8th, the black sheep. He peels off into the pits. So is he potential on 2-stop strategy? I don't know. My consistency rating on the right hand side there, it's just gone up to 90, which is good. Basically, if you've got a 90 rating of consistency, it means you're very fucking consistent. It's very difficult to increase your rating on here. Coming up to 3 o'clock as well, game time. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty sure the black sheep had a fair amount of damage. We've got a few seconds worth ourselves. If he's going to the end, he's going to be heavy on fuel now, whilst we're relatively light with just a dozen laps worth of fuel. And towards the end there we were very similar on pace. If he's trying a 2-stop strategy, then we will finish ahead of him, unless we decide to have a big fuck up ourselves. So now the strategy slowly starts to come into endurance racing. You start thinking about what people are doing around you. The fact he was only a couple of seconds ahead of me means that we are in a legit battle. Of course, no way to tell if he's going to pit again. No way to tell how much fuel he started with, how much fuel he's still got. It all comes down to, again, with endurance racing, just keep going. I think the guy in 15th has sort of given up. He's been in the pits now for a few laps. I don't know what the rule is if you spend the entire race in the pits and then with I don't know, 5 minutes to go you come out, do a lap and finish. I mean, you'd be classified last, but technically you'll be classified. But then where's the fun in that? You're never going to win a championship finishing last every race, are you? Looks like the leader's slowly closing on me as well. We've seen the bottom left there, as I was saying before. If they're white, they're on the same lap as you. If they're light blue, they've either been lapped by you or, you know, next time you see them, you'll be lapping them. And if they're orange, it means that they're ahead of you on track. So chances are I'll probably be lapped in this race, which is fine. I mean, I'll take that. So the black sheep that I was just behind a few laps ago before he made a pit stop, he's now back out. You can see that he's in 12th, he's light blue because he's behind me. And he's only 12 seconds ahead of me, so call it a minute and a half in the pits. That does seem a bit long. You have to stop for at least 30 seconds for fuel and tyres. And there's obviously a 31 mile an hour speed limit, but a minute and a half in the pits, that does seem a bit long to me. So I can only assume he's mucked up his stop because it's manual control. You have to drive yourself into and out of the pit box, you have to stop on your marks and all that. So he could have made a mistake there, or he could have had quite a bit of damage that he's had to fix. I don't know.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
Another lap complete up to P7 as a guy in 8th and I made a pit stop, which is almost half distance really.
On the car ahead in sector 3. Yellow flag in sector 3. Halfway through, keep it up.
My race engineer telling me halfway through the race. Feeling okay. Don't know where we'll be once we make our pit stop. It's the Ginger one. He's one of the league owners, I believe. He's now in. My consistency rating's still increasing, which is nice. We really haven't been off track for quite a long time now. Saying that like it's some sort of an achievement, but there we go. The tyres feel okay, as we're getting close to our pit stop now. 6 laps worth of fuel on board. So within the next 10 minutes we'll be in. Nice and consistent so far. Kind of what we want. If I am being caught by Nekazawa behind in P6. He's obviously made a pit stop. He's one of the guys that has made a pit stop. And he's obviously a lot quicker than me if he's managed to make a full pit stop and come out just behind. So I won't be battling him too much.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh, he's put me off. Now I've got crap on my tyres. Well, it's not too bad. I would have let him go, but I was too busy looking in the mirrors. Bit of a rookie mistake that. Anyway, he's always going to pass us. What are you doing, mate? That is a really dumb place to let someone through, mate. Okay, come on, refocus. So we're going to be pitting with about 32, 33 minutes to go, something like that. We started with 90 laps worth of fuel, which has pretty much taken us to an hour. So half hour of that would be 45 litres. And I think we've got 60 in the car, so I might drop it down to 50, just for argument's sake. Try and save a little bit of time.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Oh, and the black sheep's in the pits again. So we will definitely keep that position above him now, because he's stopping at least twice. We're only going to do one. So when all this is done, that will be a position gained, unless we've lost out to someone else.
Slow car ahead.
Jesus!
Clear on the right.
Was it people just letting you through at the most stupidest of points? Right, how much fuel we got left? Yeah, we're pitting at the end of next lap then. And the black sheep is definitely out of this race now. He's got a 30-second stop-go penalty. Oh, the lally.
Front in sector 3.
Here he is, just come back out the pits. He slows down to let me through. Just over half hour left of the race. We'll be pitting at the end of this lap. I'm predicting we'll be out in P8. And then just have a nice half-hour drive to the finish flag, see if we can gain any more positions. Might be a P7 actually, because we know we're going to overtake the black sheep, and the ginger one is now also in the pits for a second time. So let's not speed on the way in. Don't think I did. I'm sure we'll find out. Right, where's my pit box? There it is. Fuel to add. We'll take 5 litres out just to be on the safe side. Suspension, bodywork, fix all that, that's fine. In we come now. Let's not fuck it up. Stop the engine. There we go. Might need a bit of a recalculation there. No, that's fine. We're good. Right, where will we rejoin? So tyres are being changed to a new set. The damage will be fixed as well. The controls, you can see, they are locked. P7 is just coming up. Well, I reckon, unfortunately, as well, we will be lapped.
Come on, let's go. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Don't know what he's doing in the pit lane. Hopefully I didn't speed into the pit lane. We'll find out as soon as I come out. No, we're good. Alright, a half hour to go then. I've got the leaders right up my arse, all 3 of them. So I've got to find a good place to let them all go. We are out in P7. P7, that is really good. P6 only 20 seconds up the road as well. So we were 9th, but the ginger one and the black sheep have had to pit twice for whatever reason. I can only assume accident damage, or they missed up their yeah, here we go. Oh, there's a crash behind. What's going on here? Come on, I'm letting you guys through. I think the leaders have had a crash. That's why it was taking them a while to get through, and I've lost 4 seconds doing that. Fellow Porsche enthusiast. So I'm now a lap down. Hey ho, it's fine. Hour and a half race from 4 seconds off the leaders. It was going to happen. And there is P8 now on the screen. 22 seconds back. 21 now. Don't know why. So if we can hold on to this P7 for the last 30 minutes, that'd be a decent result. 13 drivers left now, so out of the 16 that started, 3 have already thrown in their tail. Race time's just gone 5 o'clock. It's definitely changing. Shadows around the car certainly different to what they were 10 or 15 minutes ago.
There's a car exiting pit lane.
Jesus.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
Fuck. And I've got the guy in P4 behind me as well.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
See, that's how easy it is to just get out of the way when you're being lapped, you know? Just move over to the side in a safe place. Not in the fastest corner on the circuit or basically on the apex of turn 1. So I'm now being lapped by the top 4. I'm keeping an eye on that gap between me and Warriors 10 in P8. It's stabilising around 20 to 21. See the sun slowly starting to set now as it starts to throw up a bit of light haze and shadows across the circuit. Blinds me going into turn 4. Could be an issue later on in the race. Been racing now for I think about an hour and 5 minutes, so if it was in terms of my one hub racing on F1 2020, the race would have finished probably the best part of 15-20 minutes ago, so sort of in slightly unknown territory. This would be the first time I would have raced for over an hour continuously, and there's the first time that I've hit that inside curb. Fortunately no damage, I don't think. Well, it was going to happen sooner rather than later. It took me an hour. No damage from it. Sometimes you go across the curb like that and it will ruin the floor. Oh, this corner's a bit difficult now, that's sun. And a guy behind the 8th, still about 19-20 seconds back, so we lost a couple of seconds hitting that curb, nothing more. Could have been a lot worse. Don't know where P6 is though, unfortunately. The leaders being in front of me means I can't see on the relative. I'm sure they'll lap him soon and we'll be able to see exactly if we have any sort of a realistic chance of a top 6. Yeah, we're lapping low 41s. My best was a 43.9, so the leaders are pretty much, on average, 3 seconds a lap quicker.
Sector 1.
I'm not too bothered by that. I'm focusing really on the guy behind me. What's this guy in 10th doing?
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Fucking Christ, they really just... Oh, money wide hit. I'm telling you, not one person I've lapped in this race, there's been a few, have got out of the way, you know, in a normal IQ level sort of way. It's always been just the worst points. If I'm having a major incident with someone like that, you know, in a race like this late on, I would not be very happy. Here you go anyway, final 20 minutes. Car behind is slowly closing. Again, about a second a lap, I think. But we should be okay. Unless I keep doing this stuff like this.
Falling behind to the car in front in sector 3.
It's almost 6:30 game time as well. So a notification might come up, I believe on the left hand side, telling us if we need to put our headlights on. Probably won't until it tells me to, at least. Cool. You don't want to have an accident there. It's easy to just let off the throttle, let the car do what it wants, and then get back on the brakes. Quarter of an hour to go. Try and keep focused. I know Warriors 10 is catching me. As long as I don't make any major mistakes, I think we'll be okay. I think there's about 9 laps to go in terms of race time. And we're 31 seconds there behind P6. He's now come on to our relative, so we need him to have a big old crash. And there's a notification on the right hand side. Turn lights on. We've got 3 laps of that remaining. It's fine, I'll do it down the main straight. So race director now says that it's now getting to the point where it's a bit too dark. We need to see where you are. And so we'll turn the night lights on the main straight. because it takes a few seconds to do, and I don't really want to be doing it when I'm coming up to a corner. So we will, potentially, with a quarter of an hour to go, do a bit of nighttime driving, just a little bit. It won't be totally dark, thankfully, because there's not really a lot of lighting around this circuit. There we go, lights are on. And that'll be the same for all cars, not just for me. Sky in 8th is... I'm worried about him a little bit. Of course, with it getting darker as well, the sparks and the exhaust flame just a bit more prominent. Which does look cool. Come on, man, got to get my focus back. 12 seconds is a gap now to him. Oh, a dude in 5th. I'm 7th. The dude in 5th is coming up to lap me. Skill gap is evident in this league. It's just suddenly got a lot darker. It's almost impossible to see that curve now. Holy hell, it is a lot darker. My experience of Kyalami in conditions like this is nil. As long as I can still see the curbs, I'm alright. Not long to go now.
To the car in front in sector 3.
It is now properly fucking dark. Look at this. But I'll tell you what, that last lap I did was probably one of the most consistent and cleanest laps I've done all race so far. But Steel Warriors is catching me. I mean, he's 10 seconds behind and there's... I mean, what is there? 6 odd minutes left to go, so... should be okay. But I didn't really want, with darkness now properly settling in, and therefore it naturally becomes just harder to drive, and the fact that it's being almost an hour and a half, I didn't really want to be in a position where someone was hunting me down. I just wanted a nice safe run to the flag. I've got the dude in 5th now at my arse.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So I had to let him through. It's now just over 7 seconds. 5 minutes to go. Oh, and... Oh, okay, concentrate, invent. Talk about what you're going to do. Guy in P6 is in the pits. Not too sure why. I can only assume this late in the race he pushed his fuel as much as he could. And he's going to make a splash and dash. So we could be P6 once we cross the line, because there's only probably, I think, 2 or 3 laps to go. He's still in the pits. That's P6. He is a P6. I can only assume he fucked up with his fueling, which is easy to do. Well, Warriors is now up to P7. He's 7 seconds behind. Should be okay as long as we keep doing what we're doing. It is now, as you can see, properly dark. No lighting really around this circuit. So I'm just looking at the curbs and the white lines on the side of the road. And of course track memory. Cyrex is now down to 8th and he's still in the pits. So he's had a big off somewhere, he's had a crash. Oh, calm down. 7 seconds to Warriors now. Not long to go now, a couple more laps I reckon. I feel like I'm hitting apexes better at night than I am during the day. Or it could just be the fact that I've now driven this circuit for an hour and a half in this race that finally I've managed to get my shit together. Well, looking good for a P6 here. Warriors are still catching us, but he's too far back now unless I throw it off the track. And the leader's now on the final lap, so it'll be our final lap once we cross the line. So 1.5 laps to go now. Hopefully bring it home for a P6. Which I think is a good result. 16 cars started. We started, I think, 9th or 10th, something like that. Can't remember, it was so long ago now. And I think we've sort of got that P6 due to 3 people ahead of us, being quicker than us, but making mistakes and several pit stops. And that's endurance racing for you. Keep it clean, keep it consistent, and you will move up the order. Jesus. Here we go then. Fuel, 3 laps left, so I've timed that absolutely on the nose. And we now start the final lap. 6 seconds ahead of the guy in P7. So we can enjoy this lap a little bit. But you don't want to let your guard down too much, because that's when mistakes start to come in, when you start to lose concentration. It'd be a shame to spend an hour and a half racing around this pretty cool circuit into the night to then just throw it away on the last lap.
The leader has finished the race.
GG's to whoever that is that's won the race then. It's being a bit scrappy this, come on. Fireworks go up. Not for me, unfortunately. Maybe one day, but I doubt it. Some guys out there are obviously very quick. You never know, you might have one of those races where they all encounter problems and we're there to take advantage of it. The last real tricky corner negotiated down to the final corner, and our first ACC endurance race comes to an end. 90 minutes here in Kyalami, and it's a P6.
Best you could. Take it easy in the lap.
Whoa. You can drive back to the pits if you so wish, or you can park over on the side. I think we'll just park over to the side. And there we go then. So 12 people finished that race. Oh, 53 laps, or 52 for us. So the top 5 were on the lead lap. And then me and Warriors 10 were a lap down. Cyrex, Adrian Rees were 2 laps or 3 laps down, something like that, and then the others as well. I'm not too sure what happened there. Obviously it's now finished, so we have to go back to the new race. It's a shame that it does that, to be honest with you. If people want to go out there and practice again, they're more than welcome to, but that is the race done. Yeah, I'm very happy with that, very happy. It was nice to get my first race done anyway, without too much dramas. Yes, I kind of creamed into that guy on lap 1, and that was my own fault. I'm not going to if, buts or whys, you know. But yeah, other than that, we got the strategy nicely nailed on. Went a little bit longer than others and climbed up a few positions, and then obviously made the pit stop. Took a little bit of fuel out, worked out well in the end. We finished the race with 2 laps worth of fuel. If we was on the lead lap, we'd have finished the race with 1 lap's worth of fuel. So we pretty much got the strategy bang on there. The only real issue is with lap cars. It's just they need a bit of a word with, I think. You know, if you're slow or you're getting lapped, you get out of the way. But do it in a safe place, like I was trying to do to the others as well, not on an apex of a corner or going through that really long left-hander. So yeah, we'll have a, as I'm sitting here very quickly, we'll have a quick look. Won't take me too long just to see when the next race is going to be, which will be on this page here. So let's have a quick look then. So Kyalami is now done with. So the next race with the Campionato Corsalibro lot will be the 13th of February. So like I said, it's not every week. We've got a 10 race schedule. That will server opens at 7 o'clock in the evening. 45-minute practice around the Bathurst circuit, Mount Panorama, where the V8 supercars have their big old races in Australia, and it's a 2-hour race. Practice session is 45 minutes, qualifying is 15. It is a 2-hour race, so that is probably going to be, I think it's possibly the longest. No excuse me, we've got Spa later on in the year. That's a 3-hour race, so that could be quite interesting. So yeah, the schedule then: 13th of February we're at Mount Panorama, the 6th of March we're at Laguna Seca in California, and then the 27th of March we're at Silverstone, the 24th of April we're at Misano in Italy, the 15th of May we're at Spa, the 5th of June we're at the Hungaroring, and the 26th of June we're at the Nürburgring. So that will be that is an 8-race calendar, and I do believe that some of these will be sprint events. Yes, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So we've got 4 endurance races and 4 sprint races. Now the next sprint race will be round number 3. So the point system then for the endurance, 40 to the winner. I finished in P6, so I pick up 30 points, so that's quite a nice start to the championship. Doubt I'll win, but if I can finish top 10, maybe even top 6 or 7, I think we'll have done a very, very good job. That's 2 streams in 2 days now. 1 hub racing on Friday with the absolutely fantastic result of P5 with some late race drama and safety cars. And then tonight, My first endurance race in the with Racebook in the Corsalibro Championship at Kyalami. 90-minute race, all done nicely. Only one incident really at the start of the race. Other than that, I drove relatively clean, relatively consistently. Got the strategy on point. Moved up the order as other mistakes and come on for P6, so I'm very, very happy with that. The next stream for me will be this coming Friday, so in 6 days' time, where we are at Brazil in one hub racing for round 5 of 10, the midway point of that season, and that's going very well. And it's going to be a few weeks in until I'm back with you guys on ACC for the round 2, then the 2-hour race at Mount Panorama. You can expect a lot of crashes on that, and if I can just get to the end in relatively one piece, I'll be happy. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all this coming Friday for some more one hub racing on F1 2020.